Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Mystic Shop Podcast, episode
Indeed.
7.
Number 7.
Yes, sir.
Lucky for some.
Lucky number 7.
Yes.
So, last week we had Saucy on, and we were just chilling with him, enjoying his sauciness.
Oh, it's great.
Indeed, it was good times. Good times a lot.
No, it was good times, 100%.
Yeah, he's a great dude. I enjoyed talking with him and just getting his insights on the game. Because at face value, he's like meme tier player, right? Right? Like at face value, that's what he looks like. But he seriously has a great grasp on the game, and he's figured out how to have fun and put out excellent content. So I really enjoyed him being here.
Yeah. No, I think he seems like, I feel like he seems like he's like meta tier, but he actually has he actually knows 100% what he's doing because of his Magic background and because of stuff that he's already played. He's like, I already kind of know how the meta's gonna go.
Hear. It was good to hear his background and whatnot. And it's nice to know that there is somebody else who's played Hearthstone for years.
It's not just
me, you son of a bitches.
It's not just you, Gomez. It's not just
exactly. Good times. Good times.
There can only be one Highlander.
Yeah, it's not just you,
it's hilarious that you say that, because that is technically kind of, as well as being obviously the Highlander reference, that's what decks got called in Hearthstone, because there was a whole meta thing where there was cards where you could only play them if there was no duplicates in your deck. So they actually were called Highlander decks because there could only be one. So
There can only be one.
so yep, good times. Reno Jackson.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
Yep.
I forgot that was a thing. Wow. All right.
Yes. Anyway, what's the plan? Let's get into it.
Anyways, welcome back to this Legends of Runeterra podcast.
Indeed.
I apologize, guys. I was just.
We didn't even make it 4 or 5 minutes in, and you're already talking Hearthstone, dude.
I mean, it's what I do. It's part of who I am. Screw you. But anyway, okay. Is it favorite card, least favorite card time?
Yeah, we can go into our favorite cards for the week. I'll start actually.
Okay.
I mean, me personally, I've like I said last week, I've been playing a lot of Diana. I've been playing a lot of Diana Nocturne. I also made a Fioralist. So
What's with the sigh?
No. I didn't mean to sigh, but like every time I play, cause I need to come out with more content about this, cause usually I play with some of my like other friends. I just play like casuals with them. Well, not casuals, cause it's really competitive, but we play like, we just bring our best decks and we just play a few games. It's like a best out of 5. So I played this Fioralist with him and I just scraped him.
I put that dude in the dirt.
I did. So, but one of my favorite cards in this deck was Bastion, 100%. I was really liking Bastion. Like I didn't know how good this card was. I feel like I knew this card was good, but when they try to vengeance your Fiora and you Bastion, it's like
That's a feels good.
Yeah.
Especially when she's like about to level. She's like one away from leveling.
It's one of those cards that is actually really good situationally. Like literally, if they are targeted, just that burst spell instantly like stop it. By one reason, it doesn't get played that much in many other decks, and I think that the reason for it is because when they've got that one which actually gives it permanent spell shield, the minion. If you've got a celestial, then it gives it permanent. I think that gets played a bit more, which obviously it doesn't actually stop if it's an instant attack. But it's the fact that Bastion wears off that one turn So it's only got return and then that's it. I think that's the reason why you don't see it played as much. But obviously, it is good in decks like that where there's something you definitely want to keep alive.
Are you talking about Sparkle?
The Sparkleologist, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Words.
Yeah, I mean that card is good too, because it gives +1 on top of the spell shield. But I just think, Bastion was winning me so many games. No lie.
Oh, it's really solid. It's a really solid card. I just think that the thing that is holding it back is that it's just for the turn.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of why it's not seeing as much play as other things, but it's still a really good card.
I think the 3 mana is warranted for spell shield though, because I was thinking like maybe they can make it 2 mana, but nah, I think it would be way too cheap. The 3 mana is warranted for spell shield because spell shield is really like what I think when we were looking at Targon. Like, spell shield didn't look like crazy, but the more we keep getting into the meta, the more I'm like, God damn, spell shield is strong.
Is it weird? Is it weird that I would have preferred if they switched the 2 round from Hush and Bastion, that they made it so Bastion you could get a fleeting copy and use multiple times, and Hush you only could use once?
I'm gonna have to Yasuo emote that one. I'm gonna have to Yasuo emote that one. Oh no.
I would have preferred that.
That would make Riot a lot of money because everybody'd be buying the Yasuo emote, right?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Not today. But the thing of it is that it would have to be that you would have to have a lot of mana. So if it's early, it would work obviously against things like Runation and things like that. You'd be able to keep some of your ball, but even then, you're only going to be keeping. It depends on how you could read, how well you read your opponent, and how well that. But basically, it still would require skill basically to play, because basically that costing 3 every single time. Same as Hush, it can really quickly eat up the mana if you're using it like multiple times. But I just think I'm just saying I would have preferred it that way round, because at least then the fun decks would still have a chance, because like without getting all of their ball basically silent, all of those poor elusive poros.
I'm still waiting for the moment where, first of all, this is going to be a rare occurrence that I even play Targon. I hate that region. But where I have like a Thresh on board. Where I have a Thresh on board and I just Bastion against their Ruination. Level them up.
I didn't even think about that. Wow.
It would be a very rare occurrence for us.
It would be funny. It would be funny as hell. I'll tell you that.
Oh, very funny. Yes, very funny. That funny.
It definitely would be funny.
So what's the least favorite card for you then, with people?
Okay, so my least favorite card. I mean, like I told you guys before we started, I haven't really been playing a lot of ladder like that. But the Infinite Mind Slicer though.
Okay, I can understand. I can understand.
Oh my god! Hey, you see those 2 units on the board? Yeah, they're never leaving.
So my take on that card immediately was the day the expansion hit. I was streaming, and I had somebody in my chat who was talking to me about that card. They're like, dude, that card is so good, and I'm like, no, this card sucks. I don't. It. Like, every card has a place, right? But 8 mana to do that, like, it's only good if you get your opponent to tap below removal on it. That's the only time it's ever really good. Mm-hmm. You know, it's great against certain lists. Like, it crushes aggro. Because, I mean, how's aggro going to remove that, right? But against another, deck of the same speed, I don't think that card's great at all.
I think it's really good against mid-range decks as well.
Yeah.
It's really good against, because then you're able to close the gap between, because usually about 7 to 8 mana is usually when the mid-range deck is trying to kill you when you're playing control. So with Mind Slicer, you're able to literally close that gap. It's like, if you don't have the removal to get this card off the board, I'm going to last another few turns.
Oh yeah, it's a great stabilizing tool.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. But like think about what other 8 mana cards do, because that one, when you put it down, immediately does nothing, right?
You say that, but it's not necessarily going to be 8 mana, because a lot of the decks that are playing it are playing the one which reduces the cost, the dragon, whatever. And also, you throw a couple of mobilizers on that to get the cost down. I mean, some people are throwing that out a lot earlier than 8. So,
I know. BBG has a video out right now about it was like a turn 5 Aurelian Soul or something.
Yep.
Just makes you want to puke.
So that's what I mean. So literally, because I mean, as well with the celestial cards, there's also the one which reduces the cost by. I mean, there is ways of getting that out a lot sooner. But obviously, like a lot of people are using it more to get out the Aurelian Soul earlier. But it's still a possibility. Because it's the equivalent. I know that you said that it hasn't got an instant thing, but it does have a constant.
Yeah. Oh no, I know. You leave that thing on board, and you might as well just surrender. If you can't remove it, then yeah, you might as well just quit the game right there, because the value it can generate is nuts.
Because obviously it's more expensive than doing it twice. Minotaur. Because remember, there's the Minotaur, which at the start of the round does stuns. But obviously, once those 2 minions are dead, it's no longer stunning anything. It's only it's selected, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I still think it's a solid card, especially with throwing it into some crazy decks like a Yasuo deck or something. It's just continuously, slowly but surely hacking down something. If it's a big thing, just him just getting. Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
I'll hold them here. You punch him.
Hold them.
Wait, I've been trying to figure out, if you give Yasuo Overwhelm and he uses his ability, does it overwhelm?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean it doesn't. What I mean is, if you're trying to say does his damage that he does to a stunned minion go over the top? No. If obviously you were fighting a quick attack and then you stunned, killed it, then yes, it would, but not from his. So you can't just say put Overwhelm on Yasuo and then use Singular Will and then
win the game.
It's sadly no, his damage doesn't go through on his skill, so you can't. It doesn't overwhelm on top of that one.
Okay.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Cause I think that's what you were trying to ask. And
yeah. Overwhelm damage only occurs in combat.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it looked like when I said that, I just saw like Swerve's reaction. Like, what's this asshole talking about?
No, because I think life still works.
I was acknowledging. Yes, life still works.
Yeah.
Life still works on strike.
Okay. But yeah, so those are my 2 cards for the week. So who would like to go next?
I'll go.
All right.
Fair enough. Then.
All right.
My favorite card of the week, and I bet nobody would ever guess me liking this card, but it is Icequake.
Ooh!
That card is so dirty.
Everybody thought that. Everyone was like, "Oh, that's just a really bad avalanche." Screw that. That card is crazy. It's crazy, and it's put into the archetype where it works just so well with ramp and regeneration on a lot of cards. You play that on, what would it be? It would be turn 5 if you've ramped into a Trundle, and you. Oh man, that is just.
I mean,
you just eat the board.
It works so well because if you're doing it on their attack turn, it's also getting them all like down 3 attack. So even if it doesn't kill, like obviously the 3 damage is going to kill quite a number of things, but even if it doesn't kill, you're still reducing their damage. So even if they were planning a big attack, then
So like in that particular archetype, you like weirding stones to ramp into a turn 4 Trundle. Turn 5, you cast Icequake. Your Trundle regens, and because they put that extra health back onto weirding stones a month or 2 months ago.
Yeah,
and that lives too, so you can keep your ramp going, which is, that card is just insane when
And Icequake is literally the perfect card for Bestow because you literally need an 8 cost.
Oh yeah, the Behold, yeah.
And Icequake is an 8 cost. That is my.
Yeah, it's not. It's not like it's not a great Freljord like plug and play into any deck. It's not like a Kindly Tavern Keeper or.
No, you have to have a deck
Avarice
around
and Century or something. You know, it in its archetype it works really well, and I've been playing that archetype a lot in this past week, and I've really been liking that card.
No, it's a good card, 100%.
It works so well against aggro as well. Just get rid of most of that. It's a really good card.
Yep. As long as they're not killing your ramp, and you get to it on turn 5, the game is probably over. Honestly,
pretty much
3 damage to everything that usually kills everything aggro has.
I just like the idea of somebody just removing all of their ramp, like in terms of the 0-2. The first, it's like they got 3 of those on the board and they use it themselves to just remove all that ramp that they've got set up. It's like, yes, you fool.
Well, I think it's safe to say that everybody's agreed that card is pretty bad. That for ramp, it's not a good card.
Oh, the 0.
Oh no,
2. Yeah,
0-2.
It's not good.
No,
not very, very bad card.
Would it be better as a 0-3? Probably.
Yeah, because then you could avalanche.
Yeah,
it would be a lot better.
I think the difference between 2 and I think Swim was talking about this on his stream not too long ago, but he was saying like there's like different thresholds for health cards in this game rather than other games, which the difference between like 2 and 3 is so big. It's not even
massive,
funny.
Yeah. And the difference between 3 and 4 is even bigger.
Facts.
It's enormous. 4 to 5 is basically irrelevant.
Yeah, 45 is but 3 to 4,
it's enormous. Yeah. Now, to go from my favorite card to my least favorite card. Now, if you do cast Icequake and they're like Rangers Resolve.
Oh, Rangers Resolve.
I hate that card.
I don't
think we really need to talk about it. Everybody knows why we hate it.
I know that. Just like when it's happened to me so many times. Just you think you've got like the perfect attack or the perfect block, and then they just go, none of that's really going to do any damage. All these minions are still going to survive, and all yours are dead. Good day, sir.
Yep. Or you drop your TF and they're just.
What happened? Because I was playing against my friend, and he Rexed, and I had a whole board, and I Rangers Resolve and nothing died. That is the funniest feeling.
Yeah, that's a brutal feeling.
Oh, It's like, damn, that feels bad.
Yeah.
Devastation.
Yeah, Riptide Rex has been a menace lately.
Yeah.
It has been such a menace.
I think it's been crazier than before, to be honest. Because I don't think anything really comes down like on turn 7 and is able to compete with it. I think it's the best 7 in the game, to be honest.
Turn 8.
I mean, yeah, turn 8. Yeah, I think it's the best 8 in the game.
I mean, there's cards that compete. I think Leviathan is up there. I think what else? What else is at 8 that really comes close? Somebody help me.
Are we now having to quickly go through? Oh shit, quickly, 8.
But, I'm looking. Infinite Mind Splitter. Spectral Matron is incredibly strong. I mean, if Captain Farron, there's some crazy 8 drops out there. Like that's when the real crazy drops come in. Tiana Crown Guard, that's bonkers.
Yeah. When you get that rally effect though, and then if you're able to keep like summoning her, I remember I think it was Saucy that came out with a deck like that. He came out with a deck like that kept summoning Tiana every turn. I was like, yo,
I'm back.
I was like, yo, it just keeps rallying every turn. You're like, all right, dude, you got it.
For sure. Gomez. Talk to
Okay,
me, my friend.
I will talk to you. So, favorite card of the week for me, Stalking Shadows. The Stalking Shadows, I've just been able to put that in so many different things.
It's everywhere.
It is everywhere because it's amazing.
Everywhere.
It is amazing, just its ability to be able to not only, basically, it's a draw card, because obviously you're taking something up, but also you're getting another copy of it. Admittedly, it is ephemeral, but you're still getting another copy of a card, which is always powerful, depending on obviously what you're using with it.
Oftentimes you want that card to be ephemeral.
Exactly. So I just really I'm finding Stalking Shadows to be, because I basically what I did is I re-looked at my deep deck and I put in a couple of copies of that, just because it means that once you drop Nautilus, just going through and finding another,
The trash!
Sea monster.
Exactly, find another sea monster that's going to be reduced by 4. As considering the fact that in that deck I also run Lure of the Depths a number of times, so just normally anything you're going to be getting something out of it. So I just think it's a really good card. I was gonna say that Mugwai put out which is a Undying deck, obviously, that runs it. Obviously, with Undying, it works really well, because then the first one, if you can get, it's a way of drawing Undying, and also it's an ephemeral Undying that you can get with it. So, yeah, benefits.
Yeah. As much as I said that Icequake is not plug and play for Freljord, Stalking Shadows is. You put it in any Shadow Isles deck, it doesn't matter what it is. It's so much value.
It literally just, it's basically search a creature from the top 3 cards.
4.
Four? Oh my goodness. Card is amazing, bro.
Yeah, I mean, when we get into the meta snapshot, potential buffs or nerfs, that's on my watch list personally.
I was gonna say that I think that might get a cost increase, because it's ridiculous for 2. I'm not gonna lie, that is ridiculous for 2.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. No, really, it's devastating.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a draw when you get to choose the draw, basically, out of 4, and then get another copy of that on top of the fact that you've just drawn what you wanted. I mean, all that for 2 cost.
I don't know.
Welcome to Bargains R Us. How else can I help you?
Yeah. I've been working on a list that I've been playing in normals. It's the old prankster burn. Stalking Shadows.
That would work really well in that. That would work really well in that.
Still needs to get refined, yeah.
Going on to the one that I don't like this week.
Stalking Shadows.
No. But it's still, we're still in Shadow Isles. Unspeakable Horror.
Oh my god.
Now it was a choice. It was going to be one of these 2, but I've gone with the Unspeakable Horror because it can create the other one, which is like Doom Beast or whatever it is.
Yep.
Literally, that's been causing. Because near enough every single time they use it, because obviously it can drain from anywhere, so they can even target your Nexus with it to do 1 damage, and then look who decided to join the party as well, Doom Beast. How lucky you managed to get that son of a bitch out of this, because it happens every time. I know the card pool is well, but it happens every time on the Doom Beast, and an additional 2, and it's like, yes. So I when I'm playing against that, I can imagine actually, because I haven't actually really bothered to go for that combo kind of thing myself, but playing against it, it just feels like, oh, you bastard.
Yeah, Doom Beast is crazy. That card can help stabilize boards and just give you more time, and it's just I think that might be on the watch list too. That might end up having to go down to 1 health drain eventually.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yo, thank god you guys aren't on balance patch. Oh my goodness. Yo, you think Shadow Isles needs to get more nerfs, son? Oh my god.
When's the last time it got hit really hard?
Wow, so we're just gonna, so wait. You know what? I want to see what you guys' opinion is on what's the name, on Ionia, because I think it's a very untapped region right now, and it's freaking broken.
You say it's untapped. I've seen it quite a lot because people are using concussive shock and things like that a lot. I don't think that Ionia's getting use. So saying that it's not getting much use, it is.
I was gonna say Iona who?
I've been seeing it a lot, and I've been seeing Karma and Ezreal is still a thing.
Yes, 100%.
And Karma and Lux I've been seeing a little bit more of on ladder, but you know, that might be what I'm seeing. But I've been seeing Karma and Lux getting involved again.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great tournament deck, I think.
Oh, Karma, which one? Karma Lux or Karma Ezreal?
Karma Ezreal is like, just one of the strongest tournament lists I think out there.
Yeah, it honestly, it's a counter everything kind of. Like if you're able to make a deck that, like, if you know what the meta is gonna be, you can make your Karma Ezreal around that to counter that, basically.
Well, it counters mid-range to later game lists really, really well. I think aggro still has a great matchup against it, so that's why it's a great tournament deck, because you ban out their most aggro deck.
That's
but
true.
I mean, you know,
that's true.
That's if they don't ban your Karma Lux. I don't or Ezreal Karma.
I mean, I feel like in a tournament, I probably would ban somebody's Karma Ezreal.
It depends on what was against, because like in early, I did actually take part in some early tournaments, and it was always getting rid of Ionia, but we're talking when when will cost less and things, so like it was always getting rid of Ionia. But I guess now I don't know, I might actually keep that just because it depends on what they took away from me, because I'd probably be running Targon with some Shushingtons, because all you need is a little bit of Shushingtons on that, and they can stop their final burst forward on you. So
true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You just saved the hush for the Ezreal and what they doing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or just if you're running that anyway, the amount of Celestials and obliterates, then potentially you got other answers. So, but they could ban that. It depends, obviously in the tournament ban, which is set, and it's really hard to know what they're gonna ban.
Yeah, I feel like if you were playing, if you were the one playing Karma Ezreal, you probably would. Whatever, you probably wouldn't even need to look at the cards. It's like, oh, that guy Targon, yeah, ban it. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Instantly, because Bastion, freaking Hush, freaking it just counters the hell out of that deck.
And you guys wonder why I hate that region.
Yeah.
It has just such annoying cards.
I don't know. It's because like the RNG guy in me really likes the invoke, so I can't.
That is understandable, and I forgive you.
No, you don't.
I forgive you.
All right, we could talk about, because you know, it's nice that you sent me that swear. You sent it all to us, but we can go into talking about how we think the balance patch is gonna be, because I think it's gonna come out soon. To be honest, it's either gonna come out soon or it's gonna come out.
They already said, didn't they, that it was coming out?
Yep.
I can't remember. My mind can't remember the bloody date now, but obviously because they said that it was gonna launch, and then it was gonna be slightly later. It was gonna be 3 weeks after launch, I think, is when they said the first balance patch. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that should be soon.
They mentioned that an Ezreal nerf incoming and a possible buff and or change to Lee Sin. I know that those were.
I mean, does he really need it now?
No,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I don't know if he needs it now.
I've been seeing devastating decks with Lee Sin, so potentially they might want to change that idea of giving him but I don't know, it depends on what they were planning on doing, because they didn't actually really state what they were going to do with him. With Ezreal, they said they were going to change the difficulty, so obviously they're probably going to make it so that you maybe have to target 10 or so.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
Yeah, so. It is a lot. It is a lot, but there are cards that can make Ezreal target a lot, in terms of Especially if you put him into Bilge Water, just like make it rain, Riptide Rex. But there are other things. I mean, even in Targon, you still have Hush that you can use multiple times. I mean, there's ways of making Ezreal work in multiple things. So
I feel like as long as it's not like some crazy number, like you have to target like 20 cards. As long as it's not something like that, like I think they're gonna be able to live. I think they're gonna make it work. Honestly, like it really doesn't matter. As long as it's not some crazy number, they're probably still gonna be able to make it work. The deck is not gonna be dead or anything.
If they're gonna do that, if they're gonna bring Ezreal up to like 10, 11, 12, I think that would warrant a tiny stat buff to him. Maybe make him a 1-4 or a 2-3, just something, because you're gonna need to generate Mystic shots, I think.
Yeah.
In order to make it work, like he's gonna have to be stickier on the board somehow.
That's true.
If they're gonna bring him up.
I mean, I would hope that the balanced team is looking into things like that, because we wouldn't want Ezreal to literally just like get out of here. We wouldn't want that. Like,
and it would be. It would be. I personally right now think that Ezreal is not in a terrible spot. I think that one of the best things they could do is what you mentioned and put his ability on the spell stack. I think that would bring him in line quite a bit, because that's the most frustrating part about it. Is just like, burst spell, burst, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's the most frustrating part about him. And like when you have a level T up and you get the blue card, you can't do that. It puts it on the stack just like that. I think if they did that would bring him in line. But I don't know if that would make it too hard for him now. Because you can get one skill ability off, Vengeance, and then you're sad. It's a tough call.
Yeah, I think it is a tough call. I mean, I'm sure they tried things. If they saw that them putting his ability on the stack was probably too much, then they probably tested it.
Yeah, they probably did. But what could they do to Lee Sin?
I'm not even sure. The only thing I was thinking was maybe a stat increase, but he's already like a really bulky unit.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, at a 3-6, I mean, I don't know what they would do.
I have no idea. Because them decreasing his mana cost, I think that would make him too strong.
One thing that I had theoried about with him is maybe add a third spell to his ability, which gave him Overwhelm, but that might be way too much.
Yeah, no, that might be
too much.
Nah.
I think that granting him Overwhelm still needs to be coming from an outside source.
Yeah, I think you need to be giving it to him somehow.
Especially how powerful he is now with Targon, with just the amount of gems. I think that giving him just overwhelmed that he can get from a third spell, because there's literally now just 3 gems. I think we leave that. he can already get it through Targon anyway, through Zenith Blade.
Zenith Blade, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So I don't think they need to give him overwhelm for a third spell.
It was a thought before Targon came out. I will say that.
Fair play.
Because it would have been much more difficult, and you would have had to invest a lot more resources into giving him that overwhelm.
So just curious. I mean, you guys were kind of talking about it earlier, but so what's on you guys like want to nerf list? I mean, to be honest, I haven't really been thinking about it, because I've just been enjoying the game. But I mean, I do kind of need to start thinking about what cards need to be touched. I mean, I was always thinking about the obliterate cards, because they just seem like everything but that 6 cost just seems like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's too much.
Well, as we've already touched on, I think that both me and Swerve have got agreed that Stalking Shadows, although I do love Stalking Shadows, and as I said, it is my favourite card of the week, I do think that cost has to go up to a 3 potentially, just because it's so much value for 2. Get to pick out of the top 4 minions which one you want, get a copy, so you're getting to draw what you want, getting a copy of it. And the fact that it's ephemeral, which works normally really well with most things in Shadow Hours. I just think Yeah, that needs to go up.
And it's burst speed as well.
Yeah, no, it's I've got no problem with being burst speed. It's more, I think it needs to go up in cost. That's my only thing.
Yeah, I think you need to invest a little bit more to make that play. It procs fall too. It's just, it's too valuable. It's just way too valuable. I mean, we could sit here and say it over and over and over and over again, but yeah, it's just way too valuable.
Yeah, it probably is for 2 mana. It probably is. I don't know.
But I do love the card. I will say that I do love the card, and I just think that it's. Although I do love it at 2, and I'd like to keep it at 2, I think it's a little bit. I can see in through the eyes of I don't know where I was going with that, but yes, I can see that it's a card that's a little bit too powerful.
Okay.
We do have a question in the chat.
Yes.
Oh.
Since we're talking about cards and potential balance changes, we have what is this? Tricky Trius Sire is asking for our opinion on Call of the Wild.
Call of the Wild.
Call of the Wild. Now, I do know what they mean, because I had seen the thing.
I think it is enough.
See, the thing of it is, it does draw, and they're saying I think it's if you go down certain archetypes. So it's kind of, do you go with all 3, which is like a Poros, Yetis, and Elnuks or whatever they are, or do you go with just 2 of those? Because I feel like it could work if you're going with 2. Because I think that if you're trying to do all 3, you might be causing yourself problems. But it does only draw those cards. It doesn't actually summon those cards and put them on the field. So, but draw. If you say you're playing a Yeti deck with Poros, I think that card could really work.
I mean, man, just think about what you just said. Like, that's the world we're living in right now. You just said, what if you're playing a Yeti deck? Like 2 months ago, everybody was, yeah, okay. but yeah, I mean, at 3 mana burst speed, and you dump all that stuff in your deck, I think that this deck could work really well with P&Z, with Rummage, because let's say you get all 3 of your herd of Elnuks.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, I feel really bad right now.
Whenever you're playing those anyway, you need to kind of have P&Z for copying,
right?
Because obviously you can only have cause I think there's only 2 of them in the game, isn't it? So you can have a maximum of 6 of those anyway. Mm-hmm. So without having the ability to copy, because although there is the really the good one which does summon all of the ones which are in the top whatever the hell cards, you need to have loads of multiple copies, so that only works in P&Z. But with Poros, potentially with Poro Cannon and whatnot as well, so if you're running that kind of deck where you can draw Heart of the Fluff or something along those lines to just make sure it's going to have elusive, there are definitely, I can see things where it could work, but at this moment in time, I don't know, it's not seen as much play, I don't think, because there's so many things that is a meme. It's definitely a meme card, and it would work really well, because obviously I think that you would go with Yetis and Poros personally is how I would do that deck. But with things like the Shushinings, it just ruins all that. It just ruins all fun that could be had with that, personally, I think. But
yeah, I think it works way better with Yetis, just because most of all with Poros, would you rather play Call of the Wild, or would you rather play Poro Snacks? And maybe that's the wrong way to look at it, right? Because they're obviously 2 separate cards, and they do have some synergies there. But I mean, I think that for Poros, Aurora Borealis is better than Call of the Wild, personally. But
it's one of those things where say I'm not saying to run it separately, I mean running a Poro and Yeti, so it's a more Yeti supported with the supporting act that is Poros. So I mean, you'd be running Yeti Youngling in that deck, just because once you get that killed, the potential of having those enraged Yetis and then potentially drawing them very quickly if they're in the top 4, and obviously with the the 3-cost guy who puts a Yeti definitely in the top something amount of
Avaros and Trapper,
yeah, so you can play that and then play that, and you're definitely going to be grabbing that one. It does have potential. It's just that I don't think that it's been tapped into that much because all the fun decks get silenced.
Yeah, I know. I mean, have we thought about maybe like a Bilgewater, Freljord, Twisted Fate, Poros, Call the Wild for all the draw? You know, with Poro Herder as well. I mean, there's definitely you could walk into some pretty nutty draws, you know, with something like that, leveling TF really, really fast. Yeah. Maybe even with like a Starlit Seer to buff stats and stuff.
I feel like that's a deck I'm going to explore and see what happens.
I know. I just said Twisted Fate and draw cards, and Gomez is like, what?
I mean, it's because look, I do love Twisted Fate. It's one of the things. I love him, and when you can actually get him to work, because his stat line's not the best, that he normally dies like so many different things. Mm-hmm. But if you can get him on the board, you can keep him on the board. His level up, I still think his ability is probably like my favorite leveled up champion in the game.
Yep, I think that's pretty homogenous across the board with a lot of, you know, higher end players. You know, TF, the value he generates is bonkers. It's completely out of control. But yeah, for Call the Wild, I think it works best with Yetis and definitely Poros. But I mean, Elnox. Elnox.
My one problem with Elnox is the fact that there is only 2 different ones, and so it basically forces you that if you're gonna go down that route, that you need to be in P and Z for duplications, because otherwise, say that you use that and you just draw all the Elnox, then that, or like because it's free, it's draw 3 cards, isn't it? Say you draw all your Elnox, then that Elnox one, which when you put it on the board summons the top ones, is basically going to have nothing to draw from. So it's going to be not building a board unless obviously you've made copies. So unless they potentially add more cards, like more Elnox cards into the game, that's my reason why I wouldn't go down that route. There's far many more Yetis and Poros that I'd prefer to go down.
Yeah, there's anti-synergy with Elnox and Call the Wild. It's you don't want your Elnox in your hand. You want them in the top 6 cards of your deck. That's where you want your Elnox.
Yeah. But I do love the card. I do like the idea that it's like a meme card concept. But yeah, at this moment in time, I think that it's best used with Yetis and potentially, as I said, Poros maybe in that list as well. My reason for saying Poros as well is just because it's a lot of the Yetis are higher costs, so if you can use that early game, then potentially get some Yetis, but then also get some Poros in hand, so you can play them at least for defensive purposes before playing the Yetis. I don't know. I know that obviously that the Yetis, when you start getting that token one into the deck that only costs 1, that's all good, but until you start doing that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Call the Wild definitely, as we mentioned, work best in PNZ for the reason that it's 3 mana with, spoiler alert, next week my favorite card is going to be Tri-Beam and Probulator.
Oh, yeah, it is such a good card. That was this close to being my favorite card this week, no lie.
That's such a good card.
It's such a good card.
I
definitely looked at that card and I thought it was going to be trash. I'm still playing my shots and bots deck, I'm just loving that. That's the one with PNZ and Targon, and just the ability to use Hush multiple times when that's in hand. It levels up every single time you use Hush, as well as the fact that there's the the Priestess. Both Priestesses are actually at free cost, but obviously the
Solari.
So yeah, that's the one that you use the most. You get a Celestial out of it, buffing that if it's in hand. I mean, profit all around the board. That's what I'm saying. I do like that.
Yeah, no, that card's really, really good. But where else could we be at for potential buffs and nerfs in this upcoming balance?
Hush, I do think needs to be at least looked at. Whether or not it gets changed to fast speed or whether or not its cost changes, I don't know. But I do think that there needs to be something at least addressed with Hush.
As far as a flavor standpoint goes, I don't really understand why it copies itself. I don't know why.
Because when you're in a library and somebody tells you to shush, then somebody else makes noise and then they get told to shush, you know, it goes down the line, mate.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is right there.
Everybody's gonna get a shush.
Play the Illuminati music. But, yeah.
But not, I agree. Honestly, Hush needs to be, even if they don't nerf it this patch, they definitely need to say this is on the watch list because Hush is. I think it's a deny. Honestly, it's in the same category as deny for me. When you remember, I think you guys were playing when deny was at 3 mana, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I think it's about the same power level, if not stronger than deny.
It's the fact that it can target champions, so you can like have what you think is like a really good move, and then they go, "Not today, yes, sir, not today." So yeah, no, I think that's the thing. It's the fact that it can stop level ups. Like you could have an idea of like, okay, I'm going to do this move, and that means that champion's going to level up, and it's like, no. So. I think that's another thing that just makes it just that little bit like too powerful, and it's the fact it's burst speed as well, so you don't even get to use a reaction to it. Mm-hmm. I don't know, just I feel like it either needs to be changed to fast or cost wise. I don't know which way they would go with it. Potentially they might change it to fast because that's the way that they kind of seem to have changed all these cards. Like Unyielding got changed to fast rather than burst. But I mean, I don't know. Who knows where they're going to do it, but I feel like that's going to be addressed.
Yeah, it's either going to get the Unyielding Spirit treatment, or it's going to get the Flash of Brilliance treatment and just go up to 4. And I don't know which one I would prefer or which one would be better or healthier for the game, but it's got to go one of those two ways, 100%. Yeah. Or a complete full rework. You know, we've talked about Hush, I think, every week for the past 3 or 4 weeks.
It's just a crazy like I feel like it's just crazy. I like me and my friend was literally talking about it. He was like, yo, it's just crazy that this card can hit champions. Like there are not that many cards that even in the game itself, there's not that many cards that even interact with champions.
I mean, most spells do, most damage spells and whatnot.
No. Yeah, I'm talking about most cards are not able to be like, no, like you're whatever you're doing, you're not doing it.
Stop it. Put that down.
Like there's not a lot of cards in the game that really do that. But Hush is one of those cards, and it's a burst speed. That's the problem. Like you're not able. It's like whatever you thought you were doing this turn, you're not doing it.
Yep. But that's such a good idea.
That's the problem with it. So I when I weigh the 4 mana or fast speed, I think fast speed it would make it so that like, you know, it's interactable, which not saying that that's a bad thing, but I think it would make the card fleeting basically almost useless, kinda.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then
because
if they
would have to preempt, you know, combat.
Yeah.
With a Hush.
But then if they make it 4 mana, then you're like, how many are you really gonna get? Even if you're at like maximum mana of 13.
So yeah, you can only Hush 3, and I think that is probably the way that they're gonna go. And I guess I would lean towards preferring just a bump in cost to Hush.
Yeah. I kind of agree. Like if they were weighing it between the two, I'd probably say probably just increase the mana.
And just to jump to the next thing for balance changes, talking about targeting champions, what would you think of the Celestial Obliterate cards not being able to affect champions? Do you think that would be just, it would completely make them useless, or?
It wouldn't make them useless. I'm taking it you mean more the Obliterate things, because there's so many of those Obliterate cards that can just target champions. You know, I could see that being a potential thing, because it is just something that, because most decks are built around their champions, and the minute that just gets shut down immediately, obviously, it feels bad. So potentially, I could see them maybe doing it so it only targets
followers.
What's his face? Followers, but
maybe not the the comment one, not the 6-mana single target one, but the other two. Obliterate 2 or obliterate everything with 3 power or less. I think that might bring them in line. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It might just make them awful. I don't know. I'd have to play it all out and see.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can see that. Talking about champions and which it nerfs and buffs and whatnot. So personally, I still think that Leona needs that difficulty just to be raised a little bit. Just because four daybreak things, like when you see, like I don't know how many times I definitely know I've been in games where literally it's been turn 1 that soldier man who's a 3/3, then turn 2 that one which basically like gets maximum health, so there's no point in doing trades against that. And then turn 3 into priestess, and then boom, Leona hits the board on turn 4. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
So.
No.
I feel that her difficulty needs to be just raised a little bit.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think she levels a little too fast, just a little bit.
And then going the opposite way from that, potentially Nocturne needs his difficulty just reduced, because I think that we've said about this before, where because he levels up through Nightfall things attacking, like when it's your turn. To feel that you want to get that level up, you feel that sometimes you have to put those minions forward, even if you know that they're going to be going into unfavorable trades. And it's just like, I know, but I'm leveling up by Nocturne. But I don't know. So I feel like maybe that either that or they change it to be that it's along the same lines as Diana, where it's just you just have to play the cards, but then obviously then their two things are exactly the same. But to be fair, I mean you've got
Gangplank,
yeah, Gangplank and Sejuani's ones are basically which are exactly the same. So yeah, I don't know, maybe something like that. I just feel like his one is a little bit too, as you like, feels bad to make those trades that you don't really want to make, and then you get him on the board, and there's no board for him to be making things like everything's dead. But I don't know. So I think
I don't think they can make it just played, because cards like Unspeakable Horror, Doom Beast, working alongside like Pale Cascade and cards like that, I don't think they can make it just played. That he would be way too good. Or they would have to do something with his stats, or
they would have to
his
do
wording.
They would have to do way too many nerfs for him to stay like that, because the card would just be way too strong. It would be way too easy to level, and it wouldn't be a fun time. It wouldn't, because I mean, once you have him leveled, like, it's just a really good card, honestly. You play cards, everything's lower. You attack with fearsome. What can they do?
Yep. So like a leveled Nocturne plus dropping Frenzied Skitterer, it's basically a win game button. It's not side. So
I'm not saying that. I do agree. Maybe they could lower it, because like what is it? What is it now? 5. Yeah, maybe they could lower it to 4. That's fine.
Yeah, I think that they could do something like that.
So you don't have to. So you don't have to lose your entire goddamn board to level your Nocturne.
Yeah. Oftentimes you're forcing yourself to attack into trading down, which really sucks.
Now, some people might disagree with me on this next one. I at least think it needs to be addressed, but I think the Flower Child needs to be addressed. My only real reason for saying that is they drop Flower Child, and then they drop the Witch. No, I was saying the Witch.
Yeah, the Witch. I hate that card.
The Witch, and then basically just every single time support is guide up with that 2 attack, and then I don't know. I think that can get out of hand really quickly because it's such an early play. I feel like it can get out of hand really quickly. Potentially, my nerf to that would be just getting down its attack so that it can be hit by something like Vile or... instead of that, it's health. So it can be hit by something like Vile or... what's his face? Words would eventually come out of my mouth hole.
Like what? Make it rain? Whale?
Whale. No, I was going to say whale was going to be my... But I just feel like maybe getting it down that extra little bit of health just so it can be targeted. Because it can escalate very quickly. And to be fair, in a deck that's playing that, it's most likely also going to be playing like things that can grant it extra health anyway. So it can get itself out of that problem late game, but at the beginning of the game, that can really hit really fast.
Yeah, it can. I don't know about the health stat decrease though, because it's already so vulnerable to removal as it is at 2 health. I don't know. That's a
You
tough
say
call.
these words. You say these words, but early game when it starts going, and you've got nothing. You might have a vial, but even then they've got the witch on it, so that they're giving it quick attack, so that whatever you're putting in front of it can't stop it. It's like, oh, poo.
I know that's a tough call. I mean, maybe. I think it would be too weak at 1 health though. I think it would be in the realm of unplayable.
Potentially, I don't know. That's just something that I've noticed. Is there any other cards that anyone wants to talk about?
All of them. We don't have time.
Every single card.
Everything in Target.
It's a Targon card. In fact, you know what? Just remove it from the game again.
Turn back time.
Exactly. No more Call of the Mountain.
Go back to rising tides.
Yeah.
Oh man, no. I think I mean, besides the cards that we talked about, like we talked about the Obliterates, we talked about Hush, we talked about Call of the Mountain. I mean, there are certain cards that need to be buffed. There are certain cards that need to be either looked at or nerfed. But I think Call of the Mountain overall is a good set. And also, we still have we can't forget.
It's not finished yet.
Exactly. So we can't forget that there are more cards that have come out. Like Soraka.
Talking about like nerfs and whatnot, didn't they actually say in the patch notes that they were going to be looking at the Grifter? They were going to be looking at his allegiance ability. They didn't really say what they were going to be doing with it, but they said they were going to be looking at his ability and maybe changing it.
I think exactly what they're going to do is they're going to tie that warning shot generation into allegiance. Like you have to hit allegiance in order to get your warning shot as well as steal a card.
Yeah, because admittedly you do get both of them. You do get like at least the warning shot, which in a deck that's running that kind of thing with Nab and whatnot, like warning shot sometimes just like, yeah, that's all I need. That I can throw my Riptide Rex out. So
right.
I can understand. I could see that being a thing.
I think that's what they should do, 100%.
Honestly, I don't know why it wasn't a thing from the beginning. What you think I mean, I feel like it's an allegiance card. It should reward you if you have allegiance, and it shouldn't give you anything if you don't. That's simple.
I mean, to be fair, none of the other ones give you something if you don't. I don't think.
Exactly, and that's kind of the issue with it.
Yep.
I think that's what we're gonna do. I think that's what they should do, and nobody can complain. Nobody should complain because that's fair.
Nope. Yeah, it would be a fair card because warning shot is good. I think the whole set, the whole Bridgewater region understands that card is good, because I think when that set first came out, we were like, warning shot, it's 0 for 1 damage, it might not be that good. No, it's a good card, 100%.
I love me some Bilgewater.
Warning shot is a good card, so them attaching the warning shot to allegiance, I think it'll be a good change, 100%.
Yes, very, very much so. I don't think there was anything else that they had on their watch list. I think we touched them all.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember if there's anything else, but yeah. That's good.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah. We can wrap it up. So pretty much next week. What we? I'm trying to think.
Next week we should have the patch notes, hopefully.
Yeah, I was thinking about. I was trying to look to see if they put anything out.
Well, next week we should hopefully have the patch notes, so we'll be able to. Actually, no, wait a minute. They'd be releasing on the day that we'd be releasing the podcast. Okay, we won't have it for the.
Damn. Yeah, you're right. Oh my god. Yup. It's.
Or is it? I can't remember when they would do. Or is it?
It's next Saturday.
I can't remember.
It's next Saturday.
Well, I think
the-
we're recording Sunday next week.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So potentially we have the next, we have new patch notes and whatnot.
Yeah. It comes out the 19th.
Yep, we should be able to record that, but yeah.
Yeah, and so should be all good. Something to look forward to. I guess so. Which is it time for the old? You can catch us at Who the Foos.
Yeah. So, I mean, we had a good podcast, pretty much. You know, I'm gonna leave all our links down below for the YouTube, for all the YouTube people, because I didn't even tell you guys. So now we have Spotify, 100%. We're on Spotify, guys.
I saw that. That's very cool.
Yeah. We're on Spotify now, and I'm also gonna be still continuing our SoundCloud as well.
Yep,
So
SoundCloud.
we're on SoundCloud, we're on YouTube, and we're on Spotify now.
Yep. Episodes get uploaded Wednesdays around noon.
Yep.
EST, which is GMT -5. I plugged everybody's channel in my chat for the folks that are here.
I don't know why that made me laugh so much that you plugged your own Twitch within your own Twitch chat. They'd have to already be there in order to. I don't know why that caught me.
You're like, wait a second.
Yeah, but
that's right.
Listen, you can.
Because I can. That's why.
We're all on Twitch. I said the links will be down below.
Yeah.
Twitch,
I think
Twitter.
We've all got YouTubes as well, so you can get all that.
And then also the links to the Mystic Shot podcast Twitter is also gonna be in the description as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We tweet and retweet very funny things.
Yeah. I'm gonna be working because I think we should start uploading like at least one. It was a good idea, Swerve. One like funny clip every week.
Yep.
I think
the caster clip of the week.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. We should do that. 100%.
Yeah, you're next. You're next, bro.
Yeah. I haven't been streaming. I've been getting caught up with a whole bunch of stuff because no, seriously, last Monday, my son, we found out he was allergic to eggs the hard way.
Oh, no.
Oh, bloody hell, that's not good.
No.
Yeah.
Life.
I was supposed to stream on Monday, but that got cut out because I had to go to the ER all day. So, but
I feel sorry for him because so many things contain eggs.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But
Can eat cake.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay.
Nothing with eggs, bro. No cookies, no cake, no none of that. But I might stream tomorrow, maybe. Not sure. But definitely Monday and Wednesday next week. I'll be streaming, so I will have some clips to upload to the Twitter next week.
Gimme.
100%. And then after that, go measure next.
No, I just got him.
I was just asking.
Oh, really?
I saw one. I called Ezreal a bitch or something. I'm sure.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It was something along those lines. Called him a son of a bitch or something. It was definitely involving Ezreal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm always talking crap in my streams. So.
You're just like, I'm just completely done with this card.
Yeah.
No, it's just the way that I am. Just my brain doesn't process before I speak, and so I just say things out. That's why I make a lot of random noises as well.
But all right. So we gonna end it here, guys. All right. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
We will be back next week. All right, guys. Later.
Later.